Hi parents, just another video showing you the lattice strategy for multiplication, this time two digits by two digits. I say another because you may or may not know that I added an English video for parents to the first independent work or the independent assignment for students this week. That was two digits by one digit. So bear with me if you watch the other one. A lot of this is going to repeat at the beginning. I just really don't want to assume that you watch the other one and then not know why I'm doing this. So this is a new strategy for multiplying two digits by two digits. It's pretty quick and kids tend to really love it. I've been teaching it for a couple of years now. So this is a great website as well that I've been able to make interactive worksheets so I can actually see how students are doing their work, and it's pretty exciting. It also marks the answer right away, and I've set it up so that the kids can see if they have the right answer or the wrong answer instantly. The correct answer will not appear for them, but they can at least go back and go, okay, I did something wrong. Let's look back again. They may need your help there. They may need to just watch the video again, look back at examples in our Google Slides for the lesson of the week. But here we go. So the students will open this and they will see their first question here. And it says, find the product of 63 times 54. Show your work and write the product in the text box. Now, one tricky thing that I haven't quite figured out yet is I don't know why the first video that I added here that I wanted to delete, I can't get rid of it. So unfortunately, when they click on this, it's going to say video unavailable because I was able to get it off my YouTube, but not able to take it off the worksheet without redoing it all. Wasn't about to do that. So their French video that I created for them, which will look a lot like what I'm doing for you, is right here. And then the English video will appear below there later on once I upload it. Now, they have the show your work here, which is where it's really, really important. And when we open this, all the work is there. And that's because I want them to have an opportunity to see what's going on. We got a lot more numbers there than we're supposed to. So I'm just going to kind of delete some of these numbers. And hopefully that this will fix what they're going to see as well. There we go. That was the little eraser, and it's wonderful, and I've had to use it a lot. The great thing is once they open the show their work, the question is still beside here, which is going to be super handy, and they can still access videos here as well without having to go back. So we're going to go step by step through what we have to do to create our answer. So it says here, click on the T, which I've already done here, to type numbers. And essentially, it's making a text box. Number one, the factors are 63 times 54. So we're going to come up here and we're going to put a 6 here. And we're going to put a 3 here for 63. And we're going to put a 5 there and a 4 there. Now, really, it wouldn't have mattered if I put the 54 on the top and the 63 on the side. It really doesn't matter. It's still going to work out. Number two says, write 63 on the top or the bottom. And it says write 54 along the side or on the top. Now, we're going to go, number 4 says, do all the multiplications. This isn't as explicit as the lattice number 1, the two digits by one digit, because they've already had that practice. So I'm just letting them be a little more independent, expecting that they're going to have learned from the first assignment and be able to do a little more independently this assignment. So here we go. So we're going to do all our multiplications. We're going to do, so essentially it's like a grid, just like you might see a multiplication grid to learn your multiplication tables. So this is saying 3 times 5. This box here is going to be where we're going to write 3 times 4. This area of our lattice is going to be 6 times 5. And this area of our lattice is going to be 6 times 4. So basically you're just kind of coming together to see what those multiplications are. So let's do all our multiplications. Can start anywhere, really doesn't matter. I'm just going to start up here. 3 times what? 3 times 5. So I know 3 times 5 is 15. So I need to remember that I can only put one number at this point. When we're multiplying, I can only put one number per space. So I'm going to click here, the 1 for the 5, or the 1 for the tens, and the 5 for the ones. And something that I also show kids is we don't want to be putting a 5 here. And if I just click back on, I can erase my mistakes. And a 1 there because that's saying 51. It's clearly not saying 15. It's clearly saying 51. So if I just click back and then I use the backspace, I can type the right numbers. Kids are going to make mistakes. So even knowing that part will help you help them. 3 times 4 is 12. So I'm just going to click here, type 1, click here, type 2 for 12, and I keep going. 6 times 5 is 30. So I click here 3, click here 0. And 6 times 4 is 24, 2 and 4. And so, somehow I have a 0, 4. So I'm going to click back on there till it's highlighted a bit. And I'm going to get rid of that little dash that somehow appeared. So now I've got all my multiplications. So I've done number 4, do all the multiplications. Now it says make all the additions. So I'm going to do all the additions. So in the first video, I explained that all of these were like slides in a park. They slide down. Who's on the slide? There's a 1 and a 0 and a 2 on that slide. There's a 5 and a 1 and a 4 on that slide. There's a 2 here. It's not really a slide. It's more like a zip line. And on this slide, there's a number 3. We've taught kids that these numbers on the outside are only a part of the question, not a part of the answer. So they're not on the slides, they're on the outside. So we're going to start off by doing all our additions. So we're going to look here. What's on this zip line? It's a 2. There's 2 plus nothing else, that equals 2. Who's on this slide? There's a 5 and a 1 and a 4, and if I add 5 plus 1 plus 4, I get 10. Now here's the tricky part. 10 has 2 digits, and we've said that we should only be typing in 1 digit per space. So it's just like addition. When we had 2 digits at the bottom of a column, we have to take the tens number or the first digit, and we're going to have to place it on the next slide up here. So we're kind of breaking the rules. We're putting 2 digits or 2 numbers on one space, but that 1 can't stay down here. It has to go up into the next slide. So now we have 1 plus 1 plus 2 equals 4. And we have 3 and nothing else on that slide, so that makes 3. And remember that the 63 and the 54 are part of the question, not part of the answer. And remember that we put the 1 there because we couldn't leave 10 here. Had we left 10 here, we would be saying that 63 times 54 is actually 34,102. That's not correct. That's why we put the 1 of the 10, and we put that 1 up here so that we just left the 0 there of the 10. So now we see our answer that 63 groups of 54, or 63 times 54, is actually 3,402. Now we want to look over here and below the videos, which will only appear, the videos only appear on question number 1. We're going to find that text box to put our answer, and I'm hiding it. We're going to put the text box here. This is interesting. I'm not sure why that's not appearing. Let me just reduce my screen a little bit, make it a little smaller. That might help things out. And let's see if I can get that to appear. It just doesn't want to appear. Trust me to know that there is a text box there that I am going to write 3402. And then what's really important is that the kids check, go back to our directions, write the product in the text box. We did that, and click on the check mark. If they click on the back arrow, it's going to knock them right out. They're going to have to start all over again. They need to click on that arrow. They click on that arrow. Now, somehow the kids are going to see whether that is correct or incorrect. And if it's incorrect, they can go back and have a look at what they've done. Number 1, remember, is going to be done with them, with the teacher, so that they get to see how to do the work. And then they just continue down. Number 2, number 3, you can kind of see a little preview of what's going to see in the show your work, and I've outlined all the steps. I keep outlining the steps, but I start taking some of the directions away as they get down so that I make them just think a little more for themselves without following step by step by step. For example, number 5, it says show your work, write the product, click on the check mark. And that's basically what 5, 6, 7 look like, just so that they can just become a little more independent and not rely on those directions by me. And then when they get down, this one has 8 questions. When they're down at the end of that, below right here is going to say submit your work. They're going to want to click on that. They're also going to want to go back into the assignment that and make sure it says mark as done if they need to do that. Anyways, I hope that helps. I hope that's clear as mud, and that if you need any more help, please just send me an email. We can meet on Google Meet. I can meet with you and your child. We can make sure that everyone feels success. It's a great, fun, fast way of multiplying versus the traditional way that we used to do. That we only used to do, which eventually we will learn how to do, but this is one of the easiest ones to learn first. So good luck with it, and thanks again for all your support. Bye.